Hey, how's it going? This is Jordan from Zero to Hero Muscle, and in today's free training video, I'm going to reveal to you one of the single most important things you could do in order to take your body from average zero to superhero. So how do you get from zero to hero? You're probably thinking, oh, I'm sure I have to eat these kinds of special food and do these crazy types of workouts, but really, it's much simpler than that. It all just starts with tracking and measuring everything. Your diet and your workouts. Your diet, especially as a hard gainer, is hands down one of the most important fundamentals you need to nail down, and it all begins with actually tracking what you eat. I know, it sounds tedious. You're probably thinking, do I have to? But the answer is yes. And it's not as big of a pain as you think. And hear me out here, because I used to think like that once. When I started my journey as an ectomorph and a hard gainer, I would always be really pissed off and frustrated because I'd be thinking, man, I'm eating so much. Why the hell am I not gaining any weight? You know, I eat this, I eat that. I feel like I eat everything in sight and I still can't gain an ounce for the life of me. I'm eating a lot, I'm hitting it hard in the gym, why am I not gaining any muscle mass? And at one point, I finally just said, you know what, I'm just gonna track this stuff for a week straight and see what happens. If you have a smartphone, a great app to do this is MyFitnessPal, and you can even access it on your computer. I didn't have that luxury when I started, so I had to do it old school with just a pen and a paper. So there I was, measuring everything. I even had my food scale to weigh everything I was eating to get the most accurate measurements possible. And you know what I discovered? Here I was thinking I was eating tons of food, and it turned out I was barely getting in around 1,800 calories per day. 1,800 calories. So being about 6 feet tall, 150 pounds, I don't think I or anyone else is going to build any kind of muscle mass on an 1,800 calorie intake. That's barely half of what I actually needed to eat to gain mass and build muscle. So until you actually start tracking these things, the perception you have in your head of what you're doing and the actual reality of what you're doing could be, and probably are, very far off. In your head, it's just like any goal that you or anyone else has. People always tend to be pretty arrogant about their goals and are like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm moving towards it. Until you're tracking it, you don't really know what's going on there. And tracking every bite of your diet isn't something you have to do forever. Once you start doing it every meal of every day, and you are consistent with it long enough, you'll calibrate your mind to become more familiar with the calorie makeups of food, and you'll have that experience and knowledge of tracking to be able to make educated estimations on what you're taking in without having to actually log anything. But that's a little ways down the road. So for now, track your calories. It's the most important thing you can do. But the tracking doesn't end there. It's just as important to keep a log of all of your workouts. I hardly ever see any guys in the gym with a planner to log the exercises they're doing or how much weight they're lifting. And I guarantee that it's no coincidence that these same guys are the ones who have the same average physique year in and year out, with little to no changes. If you want an average physique, go ahead and don't track anything. If you want an above average physique, then track, track, track. Create a workout journal to track and measure your progress. You can easily do this on your smartphone again if you have one, or just bring a small notebook and pencil along with you in your workout bag. Important factors to know are things like, how much did you lift your last workout? Do you even remember? Having a planner allows you to clearly observe your growth process and whether progress is even happening or not, as opposed to just being like, yeah, I think I'm getting stronger. I think I'm making progress. So opposed to just going on your own insinuations, a planner allows you to see how much you're improving in different areas of your workouts, and it also reveals where you're slacking and where you can do better. Without a planner to keep track and measure your workouts, it becomes very easy to neglect and ignore aspects of it that you could be doing better at. It's a great motivational tool as well, both short-term and long-term. In the short term, you are able to look at your stats and say, okay, I've consistently been lifting this weight for a few weeks now. I'm ready to try and raise that bar and go a little heavier during my next routine. And when you look at it long term and you check out your records from earlier on in your journey, you'll be like, whoa, look at me a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was lifting marshmallows compared to what I'm lifting now. It not only makes your progress and results much more concrete and real, but it also makes you feel good and is rewarding to see. In addition to holding you accountable to actually make progress, a workout journal also holds you accountable to performing all the workouts you need to do during any particular training session. This is another huge reason why a lot of skinny guys stay skinny and barely make any progress at all. They go into the gym without a game plan. Or maybe some of them do have a game plan, but they execute it half-assed, meaning they don't do everything that they have to do. For instance, you might go into your workout needing to hit your chest, your back, and your traps, and only end up doing your chest and a few sets of back, and then you leave, telling yourself that you'll get it done next time. Listen, man, making a habit of putting things off until later is making a habit of never getting things done. Take advantage of all the benefits that a workout journal gives you, just by the simple fact that it acts as a checklist and holds you completely accountable for doing what you need to do. You get the level of results from the amount of work that you put in. Your results reflect whether or not you did your entire workout, whether you're pushing yourself to become stronger and build your stamina. Basically everything directly related to building your superhero physique can be attributed to tracking and measuring. Measuring your rest periods is also immensely important. Your results will differ significantly from whether you have short rest periods or if you have long rest periods in between your working sets. The typical muscle building rest period should last around 30 to 60 seconds. But how long do most guys' rest periods last? Around 3 to 5 minutes. Why? Because they're not tracking it. Your workout should only be around 40 to 60 minutes tops. That's all it takes. It's easy to lose your handle on time in the gym, especially if you're not making yourself completely aware of it. This is why you hear about how so many guys are working out for 2 or even 3 hours, which is way too long. I guarantee you, plenty of that time is wasted on way too much resting and goofing around. You'll notice it too if you just take a moment to look around your gym. Most guys are like, durr, I'm at the gym, just chilling out, kind of just killing time. Let me talk to this buddy, let me talk to that buddy. All right, time for a set. You know, they're just not really focused. These are the guys who always look exactly the same, average, year in and year out. Do not be one of those guys. There is no way you're going to have an accurate idea of how much you're eating, how much you're lifting, how much you're resting during your lifting, and how much you're progressing if you're not tracking and measuring each of those things and logging them in a journal. Tracking and measuring your diet and your workouts is one of the most, if not the most important thing you could do in order to transform your body. Like I said, if you want to be average like everyone else, then don't worry about tracking anything. But if you're anything like me, you do not want to be average like everyone else. People like to think that success comes from perfect diets, special supplements, or insanely long workouts. The average person thinks those are the things that are going to give them success. It's not. Success simply comes from hard work and doing the right things consistently. So track your progress, measure your growth, and you will transform your body. If you enjoyed what you just learned in this free training video, make sure you reserve your copy of my audio training course, Zero to Hero, the Muscle Building Blueprint for Skinny Guys. Just click the link on your screen, enter your email, and you will be all set for the next release date. It only takes a few seconds. So do that right now, and I will see you in the next training video. Until then, peace be with you.